Complete story: When the billionaire's heart broke. Part 1: The betrayal that changed everything. The perfect life falls apart. Ethan Cross stood in the executive elevator of Cross Industries, watching the city lights blur past the glass walls. At 32 years old, he had everything a man could want. His tech company was worth billions. His penthouse overlooked the entire city. Magazine covers called him the most eligible bachelor in the country. But none of that mattered as much as the small velvet box in his pocket. Inside that box was a 5-carat diamond ring. Tonight, he would ask Maya Rodriguez to marry him. They had been together for 5 years, and she had been there through everything. When he was building his company from nothing, working 20-hour days in a tiny apartment, Maya had believed in him. Or so he thought. Ethan's phone buzzed. It was his assistant, confirming his flight had landed 3 hours early. The business deal in Tokyo had closed faster than expected. Perfect timing. Maya thought he wouldn't be home until tomorrow. The surprise would be even better. He arrived at their shared penthouse apartment at 8 in the evening. The lights were dim. Soft music played from the bedroom. Ethan smiled, thinking Maya was relaxing after a long day. He quietly unlocked the door, planning to surprise her. The moment everything changed. But the surprise was his. Through the half-open bedroom door, Ethan saw 2 figures on the bed. His brain refused to process what his eyes were seeing. Maya's laughter filled the room, intimate and familiar. But she wasn't laughing with him. The man with her was Derek Stone, Ethan's biggest business rival. They had been competing for the same contracts for years. Derek always wanted what Ethan had. And now, apparently, that included his girlfriend. The velvet box slipped from Ethan's hand and hit the marble floor with a sound that echoed through the apartment. Maya's head snapped toward the door. Her face went pale. Derek sat up quickly, a satisfied smirk on his face that made Ethan's blood boil. "Ethan," Maya gasped, pulling the sheets around herself. "You're home early." "This isn't what it looks like." Ethan's voice came out cold and flat. "Really?" "Because it looks like you're sleeping with my business rival in our bed." Derek stood up, completely shameless. "Come on, Cross. Did you really think a woman like Maya would stay with you forever? She has needs. You're always working." "Get out," Ethan said quietly. The calmness in his voice was more terrifying than shouting would have been. "The truth hurts most." Derek grabbed his clothes and left, but not before whispering something to Maya that made her nod. Ethan stood there, frozen, as the woman he loved scrambled to put on a robe. "How long?" Ethan asked. Maya hesitated. 6 months. 6 months. Half a year of lies. Ethan thought back to all the business trips, all the late nights at the office. Every time he had worked hard to build their future, she had been betraying him. Why? The word came out broken. Maya's face hardened. The fake tears disappeared. "You want the truth, Ethan? Fine. I'm tired of being your girlfriend. Tired of waiting for you to actually commit. You're so busy building your empire that you forgot about me." "I was going to propose tonight," Ethan said, pointing to the velvet box on the floor. Maya looked at the box, and something flickered in her eyes. Regret? Guilt? But then it was gone, replaced by cold calculation. "It's too late. Derek and I are in love. He actually pays attention to me. He doesn't make me feel second to his work." Ethan picked up the ring box. "This was never about love for you, was it?" "It was about money." "My money." Maya's silence was answer enough. "Get out," Ethan said. "Take whatever you want. I don't care. Just get out of my life. When everything turns dark." The next morning, Ethan woke up in his office. He had driven there after the confrontation, unable to stay in the apartment that now held such painful memories. His best friend and business partner, James Martinez, found him staring out the window at the sunrise. "Rough night?" James asked carefully. "She was cheating on me. With Derek Stone. For 6 months." James closed his eyes. "Ethan, I'm so sorry." "Don't be. I'm fine." But he wasn't fine. James could see it. The way Ethan's jaw was clenched, the cold emptiness in his eyes, the way he gripped the ring box like it was the only real thing in the world. "What do you need?" James asked. "I need to work. I need to forget. I need to never trust anyone again." Over the next few weeks, Ethan transformed. The warm, passionate man disappeared. In his place was someone cold, calculated, and ruthless in business. He worked 18-hour days. He closed deals with an efficiency that scared his competitors. He built walls around his heart that no one could penetrate. The lies that followed. Then the rumors started. Maya had gone to their mutual friends with a different story. According to her, Ethan had been emotionally abusive. He had neglected her. He had cared more about money than their relationship. She painted herself as the victim who had finally found real love with Derek. Most of their friends believed her. After all, Ethan had always been busy with work. It was easy to twist that into neglect. Ethan watched his social circle crumble. People he had known for years stopped returning his calls. Invitations to events dried up. He was being erased from the life he had built. James stayed loyal. "We'll get through this. People will see the truth eventually." "The truth doesn't matter," Ethan said bitterly. "People believe what they want to believe." The final insult. 3 months after the breakup, Ethan saw the announcement on social media. Derek and Maya were engaged. The ring Derek had given her was even bigger than the one Ethan had bought. The comments section was full of congratulations and well wishes. Ethan stared at the photo of them kissing, looking perfectly happy. His hand shook as he closed his laptop. That night, he made a decision. He would never let anyone close again. Love was a weakness, a vulnerability that people like Maya could exploit. From now on, he would focus only on his empire. Money and power were reliable. People were not. James found him in the office gym at midnight, hitting the punching bag with brutal force. "This isn't healthy," James said. "I don't care about healthy. I care about never feeling this way again." "Ethan, not everyone is like Maya. Everyone has a price, James. Everyone wants something. I was just too blind to see what Maya really wanted." A night at the charity gala. 3 months later, Ethan's company was sponsoring a charity gala. It was one of the biggest events of the year, raising money for various causes around the city. Normally, Ethan would have been excited about it. Now, he attended only because it was good for business. The ballroom was filled with the city's elite. Women in expensive dresses. Men in custom tuxedos. Everyone networking, making connections, pretending to care about charity while really thinking about their own interests. Ethan stood near the bar, nursing a glass of whiskey, watching the crowd with cynical eyes. He recognized most of the people here. Business associates. Social climbers. People who wanted something from him. Then he saw her. A woman stood near the silent auction tables, studying the items with genuine interest. She wasn't dressed like the other guests. Her dress was simple, elegant but clearly not designer. Her hair was pulled back in a practical bun. She wasn't wearing much jewelry or makeup. What caught Ethan's attention was the way she frowned at the auction items, then checked something on her phone, calculating numbers like she was solving a complex problem. "That's Sophia Bennett," James said, appearing at Ethan's side. "She runs a non-profit community center for underprivileged kids. Brilliant woman. Does amazing work with limited resources. What's she doing here? Probably trying to network for funding. Her center is always struggling financially. She's too proud to beg, but she fights like hell for those kids." Ethan watched as a wealthy couple approached Sophia. He couldn't hear the conversation, but he saw Sophia's face light up as she talked, clearly passionate about her work. The couple listened politely, then walked away without making any commitment. Sophia's shoulders sagged slightly before she straightened them again and moved to the next potential donor. The woman who didn't know him. Ethan found himself walking toward her. He didn't know why. Maybe he was curious. Maybe he was bored. Maybe some small part of him that wasn't completely dead yet was drawn to her obvious authenticity in a room full of fake smiles. "You look like you're on a mission," Ethan said. Sophia turned, surprised. Up close, she was even more striking. Not beautiful in the conventional way, but there was something compelling about her. Intelligence sparkled in her brown eyes. Determination set her jaw. "I am," she said. "I'm trying to find funding for my community center. We work with kids who don't have access to after-school programs, tutoring, or safe places to go. We're about to lose our building because we can't afford the rent increase. And you think you'll find help here?" Sophia's laugh was short and bitter. "Probably not. Most people here write checks to feel good about themselves, but they don't actually care about the cause. They just want their names on plaques and tax deductions." Ethan was taken aback by her honesty. "That's a cynical view." "It's a realistic view. I've been doing this for 5 years. I know how these events work." She studied him. "You don't look like you want to be here either." "I don't." "Then why did you come?" "Business obligation. My company is sponsoring." Sophia nodded, already starting to turn away. Ethan realized she had no idea who he was. In a room where everyone knew his name, his face, his net worth, this woman saw him as just another bored rich guy. "Wait," Ethan said. "Tell me about your center." "A real conversation." Sophia stopped, suspicious. "Why?" "Maybe I'm curious." She studied him for a long moment, trying to decide if he was genuine or just wasting her time. Finally, she spoke. "We have 53 kids enrolled right now. Ages 6 to 16. Most come from single-parent homes. Some are in foster care. All of them are at risk of falling through the cracks of the system. We provide tutoring, mentorship, meals, and a safe space. Our staff works for almost nothing because they believe in the mission." As she talked, Sophia's entire demeanor changed. The wariness disappeared, replaced by pure passion. Her eyes lit up. Her hands moved as she described the kids, their stories, their progress. "We have a 15-year-old who just got accepted to a magnet school. A 10-year-old who went from failing every subject to honor roll. A 12-year-old who stopped getting in fights because he found out he's actually good at art." She smiled, a real smile that made something inside Ethan's chest ache. "These kids just need someone to believe in them. That's all." "And you believe in them," Ethan said. "Of course I do. They're worth believing in." It was such a simple statement, but it hit Ethan hard. When was the last time anyone had believed in something, or someone, without an ulterior motive? "How much do you need?" Ethan asked. "For the rent." Sophia named a figure. It was substantial for a nonprofit, but pocket change for someone like Ethan. "That's all?" "That's 3 months of rent, which would give us time to find a more permanent solution." "But I'm not asking you for money. I don't even know who you are." "I'm Ethan. Ethan Cross." Sophia's eyes widened slightly. "The Ethan Cross? Cross Industries?" "Guilty." She took a step back. "I should have recognized you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to waste your time with my problems." "You didn't waste my time. This is the first real conversation I've had in months." Sophia looked confused. "What do you mean?" "Everyone here wants something from me. Money, connections, favors. They see a bank account, not a person. You just saw a guy at a party." Well, now I see a guy at a party who happens to be a billionaire, Sophia said with a small smile. Does that change things? Probably. They stood there in awkward silence. Around them, the gala continued, but they were in their own bubble. I should go, Sophia said finally. I have more people to talk to, more rejection to face. Wait, Ethan said again. He didn't want her to leave. For the first time in months, he felt something other than anger or emptiness. Have dinner with me. What? Dinner. Tomorrow night. Let's talk more about your center. Sophia hesitated. Mr. Cross, I appreciate the interest, but I'm not looking for a date. I'm looking for funding for my kids. It's not a date. It's a business meeting. You want funding, I want to know more about where my money would go before I commit to anything. It was a lie. Ethan didn't care about due diligence. He just wanted to see her again, to have another real conversation with someone who didn't know about Maya, about the betrayal, about the walls he had built. Sophia considered it. Okay. Business dinner. But I'm paying for my own meal. Deal. They exchanged numbers. As Sophia walked away, back into the crowd of potential donors, Ethan watched her go. James appeared at his side again. What was that about? I don't know, Ethan admitted. But for the first time in months, I felt something other than anger. Be careful, James warned. You're not in a good place to start anything new. It's just dinner. Just business. But even as Ethan said it, he knew it was more than that. Something about Sophia Bennett had cracked the armor around his heart. Just a small crack, but it was there. And across the room, Maya had been watching. She saw Ethan talking to Sophia, saw the way he looked at her. And for the first time since leaving him, Maya felt a twinge of regret. Part 2, The Games People Play. The Dangerous Proposal. The next evening, Ethan arrived at the restaurant 15 minutes early. It was a small Italian place, family-owned, nothing like the expensive restaurants he usually frequented. Sophia had chosen it, saying she felt more comfortable somewhere normal. Ethan sat at a corner table, watching people walk by outside. For 3 months, he had been numb. Work, gym, sleep, repeat. But last night, talking to Sophia, something had shifted. He felt alive again, even if just for a moment. Then she walked in. Sophia wore simple jeans and a sweater. Her hair was down this time, falling in waves around her shoulders. She carried a worn leather bag stuffed with folders and papers. When she saw Ethan, she smiled and waved. Sorry I'm late, she said, sliding into the seat across from him. One of my kids had a crisis. Family stuff. I had to make sure she was okay before I left. It's fine. Is she okay now? As okay as she can be. Her mom's boyfriend is trouble. We're working on getting her into a better situation. The waiter came and they ordered. As they waited for their food, Sophia pulled out her folders. I brought all the information about the center. Financial reports, success stories, testimonials from parents. I want you to see exactly where your money would go. Ethan looked at the papers she spread across the table. Everything was organized, detailed, showing every dollar spent and accounted for. This woman ran a nonprofit like a business, making every penny count. You really love this work, Ethan said. It's my life. Those kids deserve better than what they've been given. If I can help even one of them break the cycle of poverty, it's worth it. As they ate, Sophia talked more about the center. About Marcus, who wanted to be an engineer. About Jasmine, who wrote poetry that would break your heart. About Carlos, who had been in 3 foster homes but was finally starting to trust people again. Ethan listened, genuinely interested. But his mind was also working on something else. An idea had formed last night at the gala, and it had grown throughout the day. I'll fund your center, Ethan said suddenly. Sophia stopped mid-sentence. What? The rent. 3 months. And I'll put you in touch with other donors who can help long term. That's incredible. Thank you so much. Sophia's eyes were bright with tears. You have no idea what this means. But I have a condition. The happiness on Sophia's face dimmed slightly. What kind of condition? Ethan took a breath. What he was about to propose was wrong. He knew it. But the anger inside him, the need to show Maya that he had moved on, was stronger than his conscience. I need you to pretend to be my girlfriend. Sophia stared at him. What? For 3 months. We'll appear together at events, post on social media, make it look real. At the end of 3 months, we break up amicably, and I still fund your center. That's insane. Why would you want that? Ethan's jaw clenched. My ex-girlfriend cheated on me with a business rival. She's been spreading lies about me, making herself look like the victim. I want to show everyone that I've moved on. That I'm happy. But you're not happy, Sophia said quietly. I can see it in your eyes. That's not the point. The point is making them think I am. Sophia leaned back, studying him. This is about revenge. Call it what you want. I'm offering you funding for your center. All you have to do is attend some events with me and smile for cameras. 3 months. That's it. And if I say no? Then we part ways, and you keep looking for funding elsewhere. Sophia looked at the folders spread across the table. She thought about her kids, about losing the building, about Marcus and Jasmine and Carlos and all the others who depended on her. This is wrong, she said. I know. You're using me to make your ex jealous. Yes. And you're using my desperation to get me to agree. Ethan felt a flash of shame. Yes. Sophia closed her eyes. She thought about the center, about the kids' faces when she had to tell them they might be closing. She thought about years of work disappearing because she couldn't pay rent. 3 months, she said finally. After that, you still fund the center even when we break up. Guaranteed. And we have boundaries. This is business. Nothing physical beyond what's necessary for appearances. Agreed. And if I feel uncomfortable at any point, I can end it. Deal. They shook hands across the table. The contact sent an unexpected jolt through Ethan. Sophia felt it too, pulling her hand back quickly. When does this start? She asked. Tomorrow night. There's a charity dinner. Maya will be there with Derek. It's perfect. The first performance. The next evening, a car picked up Sophia from her small apartment. She barely recognized herself in the mirror. Ethan had sent a stylist with a dress, shoes, and jewelry. The dress was deep blue, elegant and expensive. Nothing like what she usually wore. When the car arrived at Ethan's penthouse, she felt completely out of her depth. Ethan answered the door in a tailored tuxedo. For a moment, they both just stared at each other. You look beautiful, Ethan said. You look like a billionaire, Sophia replied, then winced. Sorry. That came out wrong. It's accurate. He offered his arm. Ready? No. But let's do this anyway. The restaurant was exclusive, the kind of place where you needed reservations months in advance. Ethan's name got them the best table immediately. As they walked through the dining room, Sophia felt everyone's eyes on them. They're staring, she whispered. They always stare. Ignore them. But Sophia couldn't ignore them. She felt like an imposter in borrowed clothes, playing a role she wasn't qualified for. Then she saw them. Maya and Derek sat at a table near the window. Maya was stunning in a red dress, diamonds sparkling at her throat. Derek looked smug and successful. Maya's eyes locked on Ethan. Then shifted to Sophia. Something flickered across her face. Surprise. Curiosity. And yes, jealousy. She saw us, Sophia said quietly. Good. Now smile like you're having the time of your life. Sophia forced a smile. Ethan's hand moved to the small of her back, guiding her to their table. The touch was warm, solid, making her acutely aware of him. They sat down, and Ethan ordered wine. He played the part perfectly, attentive and charming. He asked about her day, laughed at her jokes, looked at her like she was the only person in the room. "You're good at this," Sophia said. "So are you." But the truth was, it didn't feel like acting to Sophia. Ethan's attention felt real. The way he listened when she talked, the way his eyes crinkled when he smiled, the warmth of his hand when it brushed against hers. Halfway through dinner, Maya approached their table. "Ethan," she said, her voice honey-sweet. "I didn't expect to see you here." "Maya." Ethan's voice was cold. "Derek." Derek had followed Maya over, his hand possessively on her waist. "Cross. I heard you were seeing someone new." "Didn't believe it." "Believe it." Ethan looked at Sophia with an expression that made her breath catch. "Maya, Derek, this is Sophia Bennett." "Charmed," Maya said, her eyes scanning Sophia from head to toe. "What do you do, Sophia?" "I run a non-profit community center," Sophia said, lifting her chin. She felt Maya's judgment, the assumption that she was just another gold digger. "How noble," Maya said with a fake smile. Ethan always did have a soft spot for charity cases. Sophia felt the insult but kept her expression neutral. Ethan's hand found hers under the table, squeezing gently. "Sophia's work is incredible," Ethan said. "She's changing lives. Real lives. Not just writing checks for tax deductions." The barb hit its mark. Maya's smile tightened. "Well, it's lovely to see you happy, Ethan." "Really?" "I am happy," Ethan said, looking directly at Sophia. "Happier than I've been in years." For a moment, Sophia forgot they were acting. The intensity in his eyes, the warmth in his voice, it felt too real. Maya and Derek returned to their table, but Sophia could feel Maya's eyes on them for the rest of the evening. "That went well," Ethan said after they left. "Did you see her face?" "She was furious." "Good." But as Sophia looked at Ethan, she felt an uncomfortable twist in her stomach. This was just a game to him. A way to hurt the woman who had hurt him. And she was just a pawn in that game. When lines start to blur. Over the next few weeks, Ethan and Sophia fell into a rhythm. They appeared together at events. Posted carefully curated photos on social media. Played the part of a happy couple perfectly. But something unexpected was happening. Ethan started spending time at Sophia's center. At first, it was just to pick her up for events. But then he stayed. Talked to the kids. Helped with homework. Donated new computers and art supplies. Sophia watched him with Marcus, patiently explaining coding concepts. Watched him with Jasmine, listening to her poetry with genuine interest. Watched him with Carlos, teaching him chess with endless patience. This wasn't the cold, bitter man she had met at the gala. This was someone different. Someone real. "You're good with them," Sophia said one evening after the kids had gone home. "They're good kids. They just need someone to believe in them." "That's what I always say." Ethan smiled. "I know. I was listening." They were alone in the center, the evening light streaming through the windows. Ethan was helping Sophia organize donation supplies. It felt domestic. Comfortable. "Can I ask you something?" Sophia said. "Sure." "Why did Maya really leave? Was it just about you working too much?" Ethan was quiet for a long moment. "I think she never really loved me. She loved what I could give her. The lifestyle. The status. When Derek offered her more, she took it. That must have hurt." "It did. It still does. But what hurt more was realizing our entire relationship was a lie. 5 years of my life built on nothing real. Sophia touched his arm gently. Not everyone is like her. I know. Intellectually, I know that. But trusting someone again? That's hard. I understand. I was engaged once. Ethan looked surprised. You were? 3 years ago. He left when he found out I couldn't have children. Medical condition. He said he wanted kids more than he wanted me. I'm sorry. It's okay. It taught me that some people only love you when you can give them what they want. When you stop being useful, they disappear. They looked at each other, two people who had been broken by love, trying to protect themselves from being hurt again. We're a pair, Ethan said softly. We are. The moment stretched between them. Ethan's hand moved to her face, tucking a strand of hair behind her ear. Sophia's breath caught. This is just pretend, she whispered. I know. But neither of them moved away. Ethan's phone buzzed, breaking the moment. He stepped back, checking the message. James wants to meet for drinks. Business stuff. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow? Tomorrow. As Ethan left, Sophia touched her face where his hand had been. She was in trouble. Big trouble. Because somewhere along the way, she had stopped pretending. Maya's interference. The following week, Sophia arrived at the center to find reporters waiting outside. Cameras flashed. Questions were shouted. Miss Bennett. Is it true you're dating Ethan Cross for his money? Are you aware of his controlling behavior? How do you respond to allegations that you're using underprivileged children to manipulate a billionaire? Sophia pushed through the crowd, confused and scared. Inside, her assistant Maria was waiting, holding a tablet. It's everywhere, Maria said. Social media, gossip sites, even some news outlets. Sophia looked at the screen. Articles with her photo, with Ethan's photo, with twisted versions of their relationship. Anonymous sources claimed Sophia was a gold digger. That she had targeted Ethan deliberately. That she was manipulating vulnerable children to gain sympathy and access to his wealth. Sophia's hands shook. This will destroy us. Destroy the center. There's more. Maria pulled up another article. This one featured quotes from Maya, carefully worded to sound concerned rather than malicious. Maya expressed worry about Ethan's judgment. Suggested he was being taken advantage of during a vulnerable time. Painted Sophia as a calculated opportunist. Sophia called Ethan immediately. I saw it, he said before she could speak. I'm handling it. Handling it how? Ethan, this is everywhere. Parents are already calling, asking if their kids are safe here. Donors are pulling out. This is exactly what I was afraid of. Sophia, breathe. I have a PR team working on this. We'll release a statement. We'll sue for defamation if we have to. But the damage is done. Even if we prove it's lies, people will remember the accusations. Then we prove them wrong. Not with words, but with actions. How? Trust me. Please. Sophia wanted to trust him. But fear was stronger. This was a mistake. Our arrangement. I should have never agreed to it. Sophia. No. This is getting too complicated. Too messy. Maybe we should end this now before more damage is done. Is that what you want? Sophia closed her eyes. The truth was, she didn't know what she wanted anymore. She had agreed to a fake relationship for funding. But at some point, it had become real for her. And that terrified her more than any bad press. I need time to think, she said. Okay. Take all the time you need. But Sophia? We're going to fix this. Together. After they hung up, Sophia sat in her empty office, surrounded by pictures of her kids, their artwork on the walls, their thank you notes pinned to her bulletin board. She had built this place from nothing, And now it might all come crashing down because she had made a deal with a broken-hearted billionaire looking for revenge. The turning point. That evening, Ethan showed up at Sophia's apartment unannounced. She answered the door in sweats and an old t-shirt, eyes red from crying. "I know you said you needed time, but I couldn't stay away," Ethan said. "Can I come in?" Sophia stepped aside, letting him enter her small apartment. It was nothing like his penthouse. Modest, cluttered with books and files, but warm. Lived in. "I'm sorry," Ethan said. "This is my fault. Maya is targeting you to get to me. I knew this could happen. I just didn't think it would be this bad. I called Maya. Told her to back off. That probably made it worse." "Probably." Ethan ran his hand through his hair. "I've been selfish. I used you for revenge without thinking about the consequences. You deserve better than that." Sophia sat on her couch, pulling a blanket around herself. "I went into this with my eyes open. I made the choice. Because you were desperate. Because your kids needed help. I took advantage of that. So what do we do now?" Ethan sat beside her, careful to keep some distance between them. "We have options. We can end this publicly. I'll release a statement saying it was my idea, take all the blame. Your reputation stays intact. And the center loses funding." "No. I'll still fund it. I'll keep my promise." Sophia looked at him surprised. "Even if we end this?" "Even then. Those kids shouldn't suffer because of our mistakes." Sophia felt tears threatening again. "Why are you being so nice about this?" Ethan was quiet for a long moment. When he spoke, his voice was soft. "Because somewhere along the way, this stopped being about Maya. It stopped being about revenge. It became about you." Sophia's heart hammered. "Ethan. I know we agreed this was fake. Business. But I can't pretend anymore, Sophia. These past few weeks with you, with the kids, I've felt more alive than I have in years. You make me want to be better. To care about things that matter. To trust again." "This is complicated," Sophia whispered. "I know. We barely know each other." "I know that too. And you're still healing from Maya. You might think you have feelings for me, but it could just be rebound. Gratitude. Anything but real." Ethan turned to face her fully. "Do you really believe that?" Sophia looked into his eyes. She saw vulnerability there. Hope. Fear. All the things she was feeling too. "I don't know what I believe anymore," she admitted. "All I know is that I'm terrified. Of the media attention. Of Maya's interference. Of losing the center. But most of all, I'm terrified of falling for you." "Too late?" "Way too late." Ethan reached for her hand. "So what do we do?" "I don't know. This is messy and complicated and probably a terrible idea. Probably. But I don't want to end it." "Neither do I." They sat there, hands joined, two broken people who had found something unexpected in each other. Outside, the world was judging them, questioning them, trying to tear them apart. But in this moment, in Sophia's small apartment, none of that mattered. "We need to be smart about this," Sophia said. "If we're going to continue, it has to be real. No more games. No more pretending." "Agreed. And we need to protect the center. The kids come first." "Always." "Always," Ethan echoed. "And we take this slow. Figure out if what we're feeling is real or just the result of this intense situation we've created." "I can do slow." Sophia smiled slightly. "Can you?" "Because everything I know about you suggests you move fast. In business. In life. For you, I'll learn." It was a promise. A real one. And for the first time since the scandal broke, Sophia felt hope.